Now, we always love to get to know our experts a little better, and we thought let's bring everyone back in here. I'm going to ask you this question. I think it's a great question and something to really get you thinking. If you were to write a book, what would the title of your autobiography be, and why? I feel like we're getting deep. All right, Brian, what do you think? What would your book be called?
Well, if I was writing an autobiography, it would probably be It's Unbelievable, But It's True, My Life as an Interior Designer. But I think if I wrote it, I'd probably have to go into witness protection or something like that, because it would be unbelievable.
So are we talking about...
I would have to leave the country.
We're talking about client stories, aren't we?
We are, but I will not be mentioning anybody right now. But there are some really crazy things that happen in the life of an interior designer.
Okay, let's go to Randy. Randy, I'm interested to hear if you were writing an autobiography, what would it be called?
You know what? It's a really good question. I kind of thought about it, and then it just hit me last night because somebody asked me, and it would be called Recipe Please. Because I can't put a margarita out on Instagram with somebody else going, recipe please. And I just figured a recipe is one of those guidelines to life, but you really don't follow it. And sometimes it works out really, really well, and other times it's a total disaster. And that's exactly my life in a nutshell. It would be finances, it would be love, it would be relationships, it would be all kinds of good stuff and all kinds of bad stuff. So that would be it, a recipe in a nutshell.
Well, that's what I love about you. It's all the good stuff and the bad stuff, and all together it makes like the perfect dude. Like, that's why I love you. So since you're there with Frankie, yeah, it's all good. Since you're there with Frankie,
too, by the way.
I want to hear what Frankie's book would be called.
You know, thinking about it, there's so many different things, but I think I would call it Stay Grounded, Lessons from the Garden that I learned about life. And that would be everything from the weeds in my life and how I had to get rid of some of those weeds to things that I put a little bit of energy with that gave me a great harvest at the end.
Ooh.
No truer words. Wow.
I am going to become a publisher because I need to read all of these books and I want to cut. They're going to be bestsellers, I'm telling you right now. Okay, let me go over to Miss Jillian. Jillian, if you were to write a book, an autobiography, what's the title?
So I was actually had a bit of a writer's block when I was asked this question, and I listed into my following, and one of my most purest, awesomest followers and fans gave me a suggestion, and it was titled, Jillian Harris, My House Does Not Stay This White. If you have good days, it's okay. If you have bad days, it's completely normal. And you know, it's just a reality check in that your house does not have to stay that white. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. And I've got a great line, and everybody's perfect until you really get to know them. So, Jillian Harris, my house does not stay this white. It really doesn't.
That's incredible. But I mean, we made Play-Doh together during COVID, and we saw the realness, and you're never afraid to show that, even with the gorgeous Instagram feed. So yes, that is a perfect title. Your followers know you. Absolutely. Karlyn, I want to hear from you, because probably in your head you've already written about 15 books. I cannot wait to see what comes from you. You've got so much wisdom, so much knowledge. What's your autobiography called?
I struggled. So I think I had two topics in my head, because a lot of my experiences, it's informed as a Black woman, right? So for me, I went with, Dear Black Child, do you know who you are? Reclaiming her power. Yeah, because to me, the story is about the ups and downs and navigating, but also I really want to write the story about the woman who looked like she knew what she was doing, but really didn't know how she got her life together. So there's also that book as well. And I'm calling it Hot Mess, Better Life.
Yes. Well, I put some thought into mine as well, and I went through a few different titles, but I think that mine is going to be called Underestimated. And I think that is because at the beginning of my career, I think that it's been a real process to come into my voice. And I do think that sometimes people mistake kindness for weakness. And I've never felt that you have to evolve in your career and move up in your life by being nasty or mean. I think that, yeah, I'm going to go for Underestimated. But I'm also going to start a publishing company. And I would like the rights to all these books that will eventually turn into films, because these are amazing. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. We're going to